Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today for video number 2 of 2. As always, I'm going to link you right here. If you did not catch video number 1 earlier on this afternoon, make sure you pause this video, head over there, watch that, then come back. Or like I always say, if you are weird and lopsided and you want to do it the other way around, then feel free. Whatever rocks your boat, you can do what you want, right? As long as you're consuming the content, it's fine. Not too much though, as I always say, I am an advocate of controlling your social media usage. So, bearing that in mind, I do want to say that if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new, and you hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. And on top of that, follow Younes Talks Football on all social media platforms. Links are in the description and on screen right now. Instagram at Younes Talks Football, Twitter at Talks Football, and TikTok at Younes Talks Football. So make sure you guys are there for the extra content and enjoy. Let's get cracking. Earlier on in video number 1, we spoke about I was going to say this guy, because I hadn't spoken about him yet, and I spoke about him earlier on. I was going to say that guy, just the guy. No, not even the guy. That makes him sound good. He's not good. Lukaku. This guy, yeah? And every time I say this guy, because I'm clarifying it on every single video, every time I say this guy, I mean Lukaku. So this guy, we spoke about this guy, yeah, earlier on in video number 1. And we have to reference him again in this video because there's constantly updates and little bits of information that's coming out and we're going to react. So we're actually going to start things off differently. We're going to start things off away from Chelsea very briefly before we come back to Chelsea, but it's related. We're going to start over at PSG. Why? Because this could decide our future with this guy, right? So let's get cracking. Starting off with the latest from Foot Mercato in France, massive football outlet that have come out with this. PSG have reached an agreement on personal terms with Dusan Vlahovic. 5-year contract, salary of 11 million euros a year with goal and appearance bonuses. And like I've said, it's come from Foot Mercato, massive page in France. They've got over nearly 4 million followers on Twitter. They're massive. They've come out with this. All I can say is this. Please be true. Please be true. Because if it's true and Juve get rid of Vlahovic, then the coast is clear for them to come in and take Lukaku. Give us our 40 million, thank you very much, and you can have this guy forever. We won't have to say this guy ever again. That's it. It'd be done. You know, the only time I would say this guy is if in future we ever somehow played against Juventus and we had to face against this guy, right? So I hope this deal happens. Please, 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 please. PSG. Not Juventus. What am I saying? No, actually, yeah, Lukaku. I'm telling you, like I've told you before, this guy has fried my brain. I'm getting Juventus, PSG, Vlahovic, and Lukaku all confused, right? Here's the deal. PSG need to absolutely take Vlahovic right now. And then you know what? From that 40 million we get, I would even send a couple of mil to PSG as a have a cup of coffee on us. You know, just here, cheers for allowing finally this saga to end, you know, because if it's not for that deal, Vlahovic doesn't leave Juventus, we'll be in trouble. And this is still a possibility, so I want to point it out there. We absolutely need to see Vlahovic leave Juventus, because if he doesn't, Juve will not take Lukaku. And if they don't take Lukaku, and Inter are definitely not taking Lukaku, or this guy, then who will? The Saudis? He doesn't want to go to Saudi. Now, it might be his only option. It's a possibility, and he might be forced over there. But knowing him, he'll kick up a fuss. He'll probably do another interview. He'll probably try and take his legal team to take action. I don't know. He'll do some sort of madness. That's what he's been doing for months on end, and he's still doing it now. Just constant madness. So we absolutely need Vlahovic to leave Juventus and head to PSG. And if he does, the coast is clear. Fingers crossed we get that outcome very, very soon. Now, talking about this guy, we got more clarity on what his intentions were during the Champions League final. So here's Matt Law explaining the latest with this. Romelu Lukaku not starting the Champions League final is thought to have contributed his willingness to listen to an offer from Juventus. Now, Matt Law did clarify, and we spoke about this yesterday, that Lukaku had already privately started talking with Juventus prior to the Champions League final. This is a clear indicator that because he didn't start that Champions League final, he then thought it would be a good idea to actually start considering an offer from Juventus and starting to actually move on his ones away from Inter Milan and doing things with Juventus without Inter even knowing. You know, this is what he does, and we've said this already. He done interview without us knowing, talking about how he loved Inter Milan, and he's doing the same. Well, he's done the same here, trying to entertain a move to Juventus because, well, as I said, it was already predetermined in terms of that contact being made. But because he didn't start the Champions League final, I'm going to take action into my own hands. I'm going to take it all matters into my own hands and do it as I want. The guy is crazy. The guy's insane. I don't know. I don't know how has he gotten away with this? How has he played for the clubs that he's played for? It's actually incredible. The guy is a living soap opera. He is a living soap opera. So that's the latest, and that's come from Matt Law in terms of what his intentions were. And I have to say, if that is the case in terms of him not starting the Champions League final and he got offended because of that, he doesn't belong in football, man. You know, Edin Dzeko deserved to start that final. If you look at his form leading up to that final, you look at that goal he scored in that semi-final and you're telling me you wouldn't play him in the final? Come on! Is this ridiculous? You have to be a professional. You're not starting, cool. That doesn't mean you're not involved. In fact, he came off the bench, and I have to say, and I'm going to be honest, he did make a difference in terms of his presence. He was more present than Dzeko was in that final, but the problem with Lukaku is when the chances did come to him on a plate multiple times, he fumbled. Not just fumbled, he actually defended for flipping for Manchester City. You know, he defended against Inter Milan. You know, someone put a comment earlier on and said he showed up like prime Maldini in that final, and it's true. It's true. So yeah, honestly, this whole saga is absolutely incredible. And if that was what he actually did in terms of entertaining an offer from Juventus because he didn't start the final, it's petty. It's childish and it's petty. So yeah, no respect. There's no respect there for who he's employed by, who he's playing for. There's nothing, no consideration whatsoever. The guy's a living mercenary. Incredible. Anyway, that's the latest. Now, if this all were to happen, and Chelsea then get some money, and then Chelsea decide to think, you know what, we're actually going to go and get a striker. It's a possibility. Who are they going to go and get? Now, we've already spoken about Martinez and Vlahovic not being as of in any interest to Chelsea. There's the Ivan Toney link that's not been dismissed as of yet, but it would be a move that would be considered for January, not now. There's been a link, and it's come today from Fabrice Hawkins. This is from France, so this could be legit considering the player is French. Who? Well, this guy. Let's check it out. Chelsea are interested in Randall Kolo Muani. They join Man United and Bayern if Kane stays, and Spurs if Kane leaves. So one way or another, Bayern or Spurs are interested in this guy. Whoever ends up with Kane are not going to pursue. Whoever doesn't end up with Kane are going to pursue. So that's our competition. Kolo Muani. What do we think about this? I got to be real. The fact that we got Nkunku makes it interesting. Because Kolo Muani, I do believe, is the next French forward. The next main striker up top for France. I do believe that's going to be the case. So, Kolo Muani to Chelsea. He's been decent in France for Nantes. He's been decent for Eintracht Frankfurt in Germany. His goal record, if I'm not mistaken, is on a ratio of a goal every 2 games, roughly, at the moment in Germany. It's not blockbuster, but he's 24 years old. He's got international experience. He does play with quite some speed and intensity. He's a fast lad and he's got good technique. I would like to think that under Poch, with Nkunku playing alongside him, and Nkunku possibly being able to play in his actual role, just tucked in behind the striker, if he were to have a Kolo Muani for club and country, that chemistry could actually be quite special. So that is what's getting me interested. In terms of what the player can actually do, though, I think there's more for him to prove down the line. Of course, he's young, but it would be, I think, a good buy. But his price is 80 million euros at the moment, roughly. His market value is 80 million euros. So Is it worth it? 80 million euros will come to just around 70 million pounds. I would say, considering he's got a contract until 2027, if I'm not mistaken, and he's 24 years old, I think it's a good fee. 70 million quid, considering players are leaving for 90 and 100, like it's the new 20 million, right? It's actually a decent deal, I feel. So, would you do it? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you would take Kolo Muani at Chelsea, considering that we have Nkunku and all the attributes that I just gave. Would you agree that those are good things? Or do you have any doubts and you disagree? Let me know down below. Much appreciated. Now, that's Kolo Muani. Let's move to Brighton. Now, Brighton. I'm not even going to look at Brighton here. I'm looking at journalists. Because I feel like that... there's a pot being stirred here, and it's being stirred needlessly. It's being stirred ridiculously. And why? Well, let's get into it. We've got Charlie Parker-Turner, who is a journalist for The Express and is affiliated with news to do with Brighton and Hove Albion. So, let's get to it. As mentioned before the season even concluded, Brighton firmly believe that Levi Colwell wants to stay at the club. This caused mayhem today on socials because all of a sudden it's a club statement, it's a club briefing, it's a club briefing. It's been leaked out there by Brighton to these journalists so then we can get Levi Colwell to turn his head and maybe entertain a move back to Brighton. One last dash attempt. This, as I've just said, this journalist says Brighton firmly believe that Levi Colwell wants to stay at the club. Listen, Brighton either know or they don't. They don't believe. They know the player. They can talk with the player. They know what he wants. They don't need to believe anything. They can just pick up the phone and be, would you want to move back? Could you tell us? Are you interested or you not? Or they know exactly what he said when he was at Brighton, how he is, his relationship with the others, his thoughts. They know him. So this is, for me, a non-issue. This is just, I do believe, potentially a briefing put out there just to maybe test the waters one last time because Chelsea have made it absolutely clear that Levi Colwell is not for sale at any price. Any price. Now, for me, I don't think that's wise. I think if Brighton were to come in with 150 million, right, you would take it. Let's be real. But, let's be realistic here. But, I don't think Chelsea will sell. Absolutely no way. And Brighton may be trying to do this just to test the waters one last time before they get told no and they have to move on. And I think they've already moved on. I think they know what their backup plans are and what they're going to be moving forward with. And it's not going to be Levi Colwell. So let's see how this saga ends. But I just wanted to clarify that because it caused some panic online. And I don't know why. Especially when the report was that Brighton believe. No, Brighton they either know or they don't. And, to come out with that and just say they believe is just lazy. It doesn't make any sense. It's like saying, Chelsea believe that Caicedo wants to come to the club. No, we know Caicedo wants to come to Chelsea. It's common knowledge. We already know. Levi Colwell has not made any indicator publicly, but you best believe privately Brighton would know if he's interested or not. So, got to make that clear. So, let me know down below what you think on Levi Colwell and how do you think that saga is going to end. Let's move to a confirmed signing as of today. This is to do with Angelo Gabriel. Chelsea have completed the signing of Brazilian winger Angelo Gabriel from Santos. Fabrizio with details saying official confirmed. Chelsea signed 2004-born talented winger Angelo Gabriel on a permanent deal from Santos. 15 million euro fee to the Brazilian club. Long-term deal signed earlier this week. Angelo will travel with the team to the USA. Loan next, Strasbourg, an option. So it's already been made clear that he's going to be going out on a loan. That's interesting, considering he's going out on pre-season to the United States and Chelsea will be able to see how he is and Poch will be able to make an analysis on him. But a lot of Chelsea fans are hyped on this one. Why? Because he's come from Santos, because he's 18, 19, because he's gone down the same path that Neymar once did, and now everyone's calling him the next Neymar. Let's not carried away, although he does play as a left winger, and he does play, you could say, in a similar style, and he did play for the same club that Neymar came from, so the parallels are uncanny. However, He is Angelo Gabriel, not Neymar. Let him go down his own path and let's see how this one works out. I do think a loan move is going to be beneficial and then we can take it from there. But we'll see how he does on pre-season and the team fly out tomorrow. So we'll link up with him over in the United States and then we'll see after we get playing some football what he's truly all about. Let's see if he impresses. Let me know if you reckon he will or if you think that it's going to take some time. Down below in the comments. Chelsea apparently have made a rejection. Who is it for? This guy. Chelsea have rejected a bid from Fulham for Callum Hudson-Odoi. That's from Sky Sports News. Sky Sports News, I have to be honest, are not as reliable as they once were. However, I'd like to think this is legit because there's no reason to lie on this. There's absolutely no reason to make this story up. It doesn't make any sense. So, how much did Fulham bid? 10 million in a packet of crisps? I don't know. Because, yeah, that's not going to be enough. To think that we could have got 60 million for Hudson-Odoi one time from Bayern Munich and we said no. Oh, what were we thinking? I knew we should have accepted that. And I remember at that time, me being hesitant and thinking, I don't know, should we accept, should we not? It's a lot of money, but he might turn out to be one of the best wingers in the Premier League. We had this hope, and it turned out to not happen. And now I regret us not taking 60 million from Bayern Munich because that would have been amazing, honestly. So, yeah, he will move, but where? Will Fulham come in with a new bid? Will Nottingham Forest get themselves involved? Or will Lazio end up getting involved under Maurizio Sarri and take Hudson-Odoi? Let's wait and see what happens. Now, before we wrap up, a couple of bits of information here. This is from L'Equipe to do with Harry Kane. Tottenham want 116 million euros for Harry Kane. The situation is clear for Daniel Levy. Either Kane extends his contract or he will be sold this summer. This is common knowledge. This is the same story as I said with Mason Mount, like we're seeing with Mbappe at Real Madrid PSG saga. It's the same. Player into his last year, you're going to sell him if he doesn't want to sign. Simple as that. He will leave. And Tottenham, rightfully, asking for, what is it that I said videos ago? 100 million. 116 million euros will come to about 100 million pounds. I think maybe actually just over. 100 and maybe 5. 103, 4, 5, somewhere there. So that's what Tottenham are going to have to need to get. It's simple as that. And that's common knowledge. 100 million or Tottenham will not talk. Bayern Munich, I feel like, could actually trigger that. We'll see. Will Manchester United do that? But like I've said, I do think that would be only if Qatar come in and take over the club. I think that would be the first course of action that Man United will take if the Qataris take over, which has not been done yet. Why? What's taking long? Don't know. We'll see. Are the tests currently being done in terms of owner and directors tests? Maybe. But I'd like to think that a confirmation would be said before then. But we haven't got that. So let's wait and see how this one's going to turn out. Tottenham are rightfully asking for that much money though, and I genuinely hope that if a club does come in with that money, that Tottenham don't start, moving the goalposts like they did before, just to do whatever they can just to keep the player hostage, because you've already done that. Let the player go. Please let Harry Kane leave, man. The guy's done more than enough for Tottenham. Let him go and win a trophy. Let him go somewhere and win something, please, man. It'd be absolutely insane. I think it'd be a national holiday the day that we find out Kane's won something. So, we'll all be happy for him, off of work. So, let's see how that saga is going to turn out. And to wrap up, here's the latest on Mahrez. Al Ahly have a medical scheduled for Mahrez, but as of late Sunday, no offer made yet to Manchester City. Sources indicate one is imminent and in the region of £30 million. More clarity expected next week. Not a done deal yet, but Al Ahly optimistic. This is what I was saying earlier on, that it seems like the sources over in Saudi are saying it's a done deal. So I'm not quite sure where the disparity is. Is it the Saudis getting ahead of themselves thinking that it's going to be done, even though it's not? Or has it actually been done yet and these lot have not picked up on it? Don't know. They've already said, as of yesterday, a medical was done. But people like Ben Jacobs, Fabrizio and all these guys are saying, no, a medical's going to be done. We'll see. I do reckon that it's basically over the line. Mahrez will be going to Al Ahly. I'll be shocked if he doesn't. I've said that before. But in relation to other players, I'll be shocked that doesn't happen and then it doesn't happen. But I reckon this one will. Mahrez to Al Ahly, I think, is actually imminent and we're about to see a confirmation of it very, very soon. So his days at Manchester City, I do believe, are over. Crazy. Who will Man City go for to replace him? Or will they go for anyone to replace him? Do they have enough substance in the squad at the moment? Let's wait and see. Let me know down below if you reckon they do or they don't and what they should do. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure you guys are here tomorrow for a couple of new ones, as usual, as we get into Monday. Teams flying off for pre-season. All sorts of news kicking off left, right and centre. I will give my thoughts and reaction on here, so make sure you guys are here for it. And thank you very much for watching. Do not forget, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Make sure you're following the channel over on Insta, Twitter and TikTok. Links are in the description and they're on screen right now for you guys to check out. And I will see all of you tomorrow. So once again, thank you all very much for watching and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, people. In a bit. Have a good one and peace.